Okay, right. I thought I'd do this video for YouTube. I've been looking for a substitute for ABS. ABS is a great material that I can work with, mainly because 3D printing is fine, but you always get lines, and so I need to do some post-manufacturing processing. For example, let's clean it up a little bit. This is a windscreen former, which there's a male and a female part. I squeeze a clear plastic that's heated in between these two, and I've got my windscreen. Problem is, if I use any other material apart from ABS, I wouldn't be able to get it smooth. I'm in the process of sanding this down. However, with ABS I can get it nice and smooth. I'll try and get it as mirror finish as possible, so that the clear plastic doesn't have any dots in it or scratch. You know, it's so the clear plastic is nice and smooth. So based on that, it's like, okay, fine. Problem with ABS is its cooling rates. As each layer cools, it shrinks, but of course I'm putting layer upon layer, so each layer will be at a different stage of cooling, and hence it starts to try and peel up. Okay, we can glue it down, we can do all sorts of things. However, you take that part off of there and it will still tie and bend. I've tried leaving it in there until it's fully cooled, and still it's just bent. It's kind of like I've got a memory to it saying, oh yeah, but I'm a curve now. So anyhow, so I spoke to Tim from 3D Filament. I said, look, I need a replacement. I need something that can hold its dimensions nice, that the level of warping is as small as it can be, but I need to be able to rework it. Now some of you might say, oh yeah, but PLA, ooh. Yeah, PLA is great, but you try and sand PLA and you'll be there for some time, and then sometimes it just gets a bit furry, and when you start painting it, anyhow, so put me on to a different material. I hope you can. I hope it's not a mirror image, but basically it's by Filamentum. It's ASA extra fill. When you do a search for ABS, you may actually come across it. That's right. I'm just gonna look a bit dodgy. Yeah, so it is an ABS type of material. I daren't. It may be actual ABS, but then why call it something other than ABS? So there is something else to it. So I got a sample that went well. So then I thought, okay, I'll get a reel and print something large, because you know, the larger it is, the more it starts to curve. So that's what I did, and brilliant. For something other than ABS, it is really good. It sounds quite well, even with the Dremel. Let's not go there, because it's not. That's got to be painted too. Even with the Dremel, although you still got to be nice and gentle, it doesn't tend to melt and disappear. I find that with ABS, if I use a Dremel on it, it will melt and start to go all funny on me, and it creates more work than it is worth. So obviously you want to see some examples, and I've been working on this. It's a little, how should you say, a little project. I just fancy something small to do, and it's a ghost. For those that don't know, it's an Xbox. Well, it's a computer game on consoles where you just blow crap up and each other and stuff. And the character runs around with a thing called a ghost. Google it, Destiny Ghost, and you'll see it. And so I thought, yeah, why not, you know, and I'll try this material on it. Now hopefully, let's see, will it zoom in? Try the, come on, come on, come on, come on. Give me something. Okay, oh, it's not working that well on the camera. However, this was printed without support. Right, bear in mind this is an ABS replacement without support. Now you can see, where's my camera gone? There we go. You can see in the inside, very smooth. You know, there's no hanging bits. There's no, and okay, yes, it's a dome. But I found with some of the trials that I've done with ABS for this, because yes, I've tried it in ABS, I had bits hanging, it was a bit furry, it was a bit liney. But this is actually quite smooth, and you can see also the little placements, magnets go in there. Actually, that is actually quite round, really. It's circular, there's no drips or drabs or whatever. You can see it comes out about a millimetre or two. So on a 0.4mm nozzle, it will go beyond the actual main structure of the body. So it would, in effect, it's free floating with the nozzle. So absolutely fantastic. Here's something else I did. This is one of the. Let me see if I can. Where is it? There we go. So that goes over there, and dimensionally, again, no support. It was printed in this orientation. This was printed in this orientation, and dimensionally, it's brilliant. I've tried it on things that have a prerequisite for dimensionality. It needs to have a particular measurement, and it is pretty damn close. I found with ABS I'm always off by a small margin, so especially with drill holes, and before anyone says about 3D printing community, yes, I did tune my 3D printer in as best as I could, and yeah, ABS just, you know, drill holes, I had to oversize them. So this material, I do love this. This is good stuff. Now this thing, I've got actually. Oh, let me just get this. This is ABS. I don't know. Oh. I had to put it in clamps and, you know, put it near the radiator just to give it a gentle, so it's kind of rectified it. So oops. Right, now I need a ruler. Yeah, well, actually this has actually sorted itself out, which is good, but that's because it's been in a clamp for 5 days on a radiator. So I don't have an example per se. However, again, I'll reiterate, this ASA from Filamentum, I do actually highly recommend it. The print temperatures I'm using is about 240-ish. I try not to print too fast, because the faster you try to print, the dodgier it gets. But yeah, I have to admit, you know, I'm slowly wending my way through this little project. Yeah, and you know, oops. I mean, there's a bit of flash on there, you know, but it's I can't fault it. I really can't. Dimensionally, I found it's held it. Now, is it strong? I've not stress tested it, is the honest answer. But with the way that I sand it, I feel that this is going to be a strong material, equivalent if not better than ABS. I mean, I'm printing this as well. I mean, this is unworked. As you say, I haven't done any sanding on this apart from underneath, but on top, I don't know if you can see that. I mean, oh, the joys of iPhone. But you can see it is nice and smooth, and I used a 1mm nozzle for this, and it is, the result I think is spectacular. It is really smooth in comparison to some of the other prints I've done with ABS. So I'm very chuffed with this stuff. Price wise, not much more than the high quality ABS that I do buy. I think I pay about £2 more. But at the same time, is it worth it? Yeah, it is worth it. This is, I reprinted this. This is a tyre mould, and I've had to reprint the entire mould because of a few issues. But again, you know, I don't know if we can move the light around, maybe turn it off. Alright, let's see. Just going to tilt it slowly but surely. Right. Absolutely smooth as. You know, I'm impressed. I mean, this was printed in this orientation, as you can see by the brim. So when you think about, okay, like that, you can see some of the lines, but how beautiful is that? I think that's fantastic. And then there's the big edge, and I think that's the result. What was it? I think it's, off the top of my head, I think it's £22. Let me just double check that before I start lying. So I buy all my stuff from 3D Filament. So for those who are watching this from outside the UK, it's a UK place, brand. There we go, Filamentum. And these guys, I have to admit, the ASA extra fill, the guys down there, I mean, you know, they've got plenty of advice that they can provide you with if you struggle with whatever. Right, so because I'm on Ultimaker, ASA extra full, natural is for 2.85mm filament, £22, and that's it, including VAT. So you grab a few reels of them, and you'll be laughing, because I believe it's free delivery. So you want two, you pay £44. Colours that he has, well, we've got black, green, metallic, natural, sky blue, traffic red, and yellow, and then traffic white. Currently that's what they've got. I've not checked Filamentum per se for what they have available as an entire production line, excuse me, but yeah, who knows. Just realised I have these things. Check that out. I've not worked on these at all. I'm sorry that it's a bit fuzzy. I don't know if I can get any focus on that, but you can see how small that is and how nice the hexagonal hole is. It's supposed to replicate, I mean, it's not an actual functioning part, it's just superficial, shall we say, just for presentation. And it's supposed to be a screw head for a hex, for an Allen key screw. again, you know, I mean, that came straight off the printer. I took a little bit of the flash off. Absolutely fantastic. So if you have any questions, which I hope you haven't, I mean, 15 minutes of just one material, it should be okay. So I think I've covered everything. I do use it as a the settings are the same as ABS, so I'm using 105 degrees on the bed as well, as well as the the nozzle temperature at 240. You can, if you need, oh sorry, I've got some printing. You can, if you need, add a little bit of fan. I have done so for small parts. It doesn't kill it, and it does seem to like help with some of the overhangs as well. Which is, you know, with PLA that's fine, but with this sort of stuff, with a shrink rate, you know, you got to. I should say, you've got to be careful with the amount of air that's flowing around, and ABS requires a closed chamber. At this moment, my chamber is actually with the door open, and it's printing quite well. Anyhow, on that note, any questions, ask me. If you haven't got any questions about you like the video, just, you know, click like, subscribe to the channel. I don't do anything specific per se. It's mostly 3D printing related or 3D design. I use Autodesk Inventor for that. So, you know, every now and again I will do a video, and if you've got any requests, I may be able to help. Alright, well, thank you so much, and catch you later.